What's up guys? Conrad here with another video, and today we're going to be looking at a very funny scene from the movie Bedazzled, starring Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley. Now, quick plot synopsis. Elliot Richards is this geeky guy, socially inept, working in a call center who's desperately in love with a girl called Allison. It's a cute girl next door type. Now he would do anything to get a chance to be with her, and so in comes the devil, played by Elizabeth Hurley, who grants him 7 wishes in exchange for his soul. Now each wish transforms Elliot into a different male archetype, in which he hopes at least one of them will be able to impress and woo Allison. Very different personalities and looks. So he's put in these various fantasy scenarios which always end up with some sort of disappointing twist, as there is always a sinister catch when you're making deals with the devil. Now a lot of guys would do the most stupidest things just to get the attention or affection from women, like selling their soul, for example. Now I personally would never sell my soul under any circumstances, unless it's for one night with Elizabeth Hurley. So my favourite version of Elliot is when he's a famous and successful writer, a very sophisticated, intelligent, creative, charming and eloquent gentleman. The ideal man. Of course, this movie is a comedy, so obviously this character is going to be somewhat of a parody and an exaggeration. But maybe we can learn a thing or two from this version of Elliot. Now as you can see, I'm already taking inspiration from him by dressing in a similar fashion. Simple and elegant. Brendan Fraser is just so good in this movie. He's a great actor, and it just shows how versatile he can really be. So, let's get to it. See, you gotta love that cheeky smile as he enters the room. It's very subtle, like. Subtle trouser adjustment. Some of you may be able to relate to this.
Oh, Elliot! Oh, it is so wonderful to see you, darling. Oh, New York has been so deadly dull without you. Where have you been?
Oh, out in the Hamptons, of course. Up to my ears in my new book.
What, another one? You've written 4 books in 3 years. Oh my God, what's this one about?
So of course, already you can see he's very socially adept. He's able to interact with older female acquaintances or superiors in the correct way, even though this seems to be a very superficial friendship.
Oh, same old, same old. It's a critical deconstruction of the neo-romantic period in art and literature from the political and economic perspective of the Industrial Revolution in France, England, and Germany. I can't imagine who reads this stuff.
You see, he's always working on something, another book. He's on his purpose, and so he already has something to talk about. And people know him by reputation, so they are naturally curious as to what he has going on. Also, it seems like he resides in the Hamptons, so that's very nice. Obviously very knowledgeable and cultured indeed, which is a good thing to be in this kind of high-end environment. As you can see, he is the center of attention.
Well, Elliot, the critics apparently, it's already won the Pulitzer Prize and hasn't even been published yet.
Well, like they say, Dr. Umgegede Ngegede Baba, Pulitzer Prize in 350 and get you a cafe latte.
So modest.
Lamest, whitest joke I have ever heard. But said in confident delivery. But if you're in elite circles and have that kind of status, then anything you say can be considered funny, especially if you're already liked.
Darling, you really should get around. Everyone's dying to see you. Linger.
Love that touch.
Oh, darling, you look fabulous. Badly Mishka.
What a charming man. Who is that?
Oh, that's Elliot Richards. He's a very successful writer. He's a very successful everything, as a matter of fact.
That's Elliot Richards. Oh, I've read all his books. He's brilliant. I had no idea he was so handsome.
Well, why don't you go over and talk to him?
No, I couldn't. What would I say?
Oh, dear, I wouldn't worry about that. Just, let him do all the talking.
You see, he's able to talk with everyone. And the main lady here, Alison, starts to notice that. But then again, she already knows who he is. Now, it's one thing to have a guy friend hype you up when you're not there, but when it's a female friend, then you've already won the game. Game over. That's social proof 101. Now you can easily achieve this level of social fluidity with enough alcohol.
It's a common misapprehension that the word gin comes from the city Geneva. Actually, the word Geneva, small g, is a corruption of genièvre, which is, of course, French for juniper. A wonderful berry that flavors this miraculous libation.
I need to memorize this speech. Always use the opportunity to showcase your knowledge on anything and everything, but don't overdo it. You don't want to bore people with your pretentiousness.
Speaking of miraculous, I'm Elliot Richards. How do you do?
I know who you are. I'm Alison Gardner. I just had to tell you how much I loved your novel. Always to show.
So as you can see, she makes the first move by just stepping straight up to him, making her impossible to ignore.
Well, I was just trying to make a simple point, really. See, every time I've reread Camus and Sartre, I kept thinking to myself, why does the existential dilemma have to be so damn bleak?
Yes.
Yes, we're alone in the universe. Yes, life is meaningless, death is inevitable. But is that necessarily so depressing?
I couldn't agree more.
Already getting philosophical in the first conversation and demonstrating he is well read and has his own unique opinions. Might not work with every lady in real life, but sometimes I'm guilty of trying to do this.
Don't you think that secular humanism is yummy?
Ooh, delish.
Delish. I gotta start using that word.
My. They say that alcohol is a disinhibitor, and it seems to be working very well on me.
Me too.
I'm telling you, alcohol and flirting, unfortunately, they go together like bread and butter. Just don't become an alcoholic.
What an exquisite feeling. Every cell in my body just wants to reach out and touch someone.
Yes, it's incredible, isn't it?
Confident eye contact and very close proximity. A great start.
The physiology of touch. Just below your epidermis, concentrated in your fingertips, palms of your hands, soles of your feet, clitoris, nipples, penis, lips, tongue.
You see here, he's speaking like a doctor or a professor, describing the sexual organs in a very matter-of-fact and sophisticated way that manages to not sound perverted. It's like she's speaking to a gynecologist. He demonstrates knowledge and experience whilst being extremely seductive at the same time, seducing as well as educating. Now, most people wouldn't be able to pull this off, but obviously, this is just a movie.
Thousands and thousands of tiny little Meissner's corpuscles, all deliciously sensitive to even the slightest caress, sending all those tiny little endorphin-producing pleasure messages to the hypothalamus.
See how he's being quite musical with his voice, using very playful cadences. It's almost like he's speaking to a child. It's like, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. And he doesn't flinch. He maintains the frame and doesn't break character.
The primitive brain.
I'm tingling all over.
Now he's introducing a biological component, animal nature, in the mix. It's getting heated.
Do you know the largest organ in the human body?
I can guess.
You'd be wrong. It's your integumentary system. Your creamy, soft, and completely desirable skin.
Using suggestive innuendos, but very covertly. Letting her assume something, putting a certain image in her mind, when in fact he's talking about something else. He's killing it in this game.
Can we go to your place?
Mais certainement.
Now you see, there you go. He doesn't even have to invite her. She invites herself to his place.
Oh, this is so perfect. Everything here absolutely screams Elliot Richards.
It's a nice place. Always good to have a few interesting books on your shelf.
Actually, most of the screaming takes place in the bedroom.
What the hell is going on, Mary?
Who are you?
Don't play games with me, Mr. Richards. I'm in no mood. I've been out of my mind all night.
Oh my God.
Hi. Who's your little friend?
Maybe I should be running along.
Wait, no, this is a mistake. I'm not gay.
Oh, really? And I'm Tony Danza.
Honestly, I swear it. I'm not.
Well, then tell me, who was in the Broadway cast of The Pajama Game?
Janice Page, John Raitt, Eddie Foy Jr. I assume you mean the original cast because there was a revival in 1973 that starred Hal Linden and Barbara McNair. I am gay!
And they say there is no way that any straight man can have such eclectic knowledge of musical theatre. But I beg to differ.
I rest my case.
Wait, I can prove to you that I am not gay. Kiss me.
Oh, this is just sad.
You shut up, bitch! Please, Allison, let me kiss you. Remember the champagne? The corpuscles?
All right, Elliot. Kiss me.
I'm gay. Well, thanks for dropping by.
Good night.
You've been drinking again, haven't you? This is just like the night you had all those Brandy Alexanders and ran up and down Fire Island with your cute little Speedos singing Evergreen at that...
Well, there's the catch. He was just too good to be true. But still, a very amusing scene. No matter what orientation you are, you can learn from this perfect gentleman. Obviously, written for comedic effect, and I'm not saying you should try and emulate this caricature, but this is fame, sophistication, and charm encapsulated to a T. So that was my analysis on that scene from Bedazzled. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.